Hi students, good morning. Now we have let us see the first question. Define auditing. A.W. Hansen defines an audit is an examination of such records to establish their reliability and reliability of statements drawn from them. What is the meaning of auditing means? Auditing is a systematic examination of books of accounts of a concern with the help of vouchers, documents, information and explanations received from authorities who are working there. And also auditors have to report that the balance sheet reveals a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the concern, and also the profit and loss account, whether company earn profit or loss for the financial period, and the accounts have been prepared in conformity with the law. They have to confirm all these. This is the meaning of auditing. Second question is auditing versus bookkeeping. That is the difference between auditing and bookkeeping. First difference is based on the scope. Auditing is a systematic examination of profit and loss account and balance sheet. We have seen already in the definition of auditing. That is, auditing is the examination of books of accounts, but the bookkeeping is concerned with the recording of transactions in the books of accounts. That is, auditing is the examination of books of accounts, but bookkeeping is the recording of transactions. That is the main difference. Second one is specialized knowledge. Who can do auditing? Auditing is done by qualified persons as per law. That is, a person who qualifies chartered accountant, who are qualified as chartered accountant, can only do the auditing. But in case of bookkeeping, there is no such need for the specialized knowledge. That is not necessary here. Then third difference is period of work. On the basis of period of work, when auditing starts, when auditing completes, that is on the completion of the year. That is, accounting year is April to March. Only March auditing is to be undertaken in every concern. But here bookkeeping is a continuous process. It is done throughout the year, not for specified period or month. Then fourth one is employment. On the basis of employment, auditors are independent persons. They are appointed by the concern. They are appointed solely for the purpose on a fixed fee. They are appointed for a fixed fee, and they are independent persons. They are not dependent on the company. They are independent persons. But salaried employees who are doing the bookkeeping, they are appointed by the organization and they are engaged throughout the year and they are doing bookkeeping. Salaried employees of the organization only engaged here. Then fifth point is report. On the basis of report, the difference is on the completion of audit, a report is prepared. It is necessary to prepare a report on the completion of audit. Who has to prepare? Auditor. Auditor has to prepare such report, and they have to submit such reports to the concern. But here no such report compilation is must. Third question is first auditor and his appointment. Who is the first auditor? The name itself implies he is the first auditor. That is, after registration of a company, that is within 30 days from the date of registration, a company shall appoint a auditor. That is by the board of directors. First auditor of a company shall be appointed by the board of directors within 30 days from the date of registration of the company, that is the incorporation stage of the company. And in case of failure of the board, if the board of directors fail to appoint such auditor, what else they have to do means, it shall inform the members of the company who have to appoint the auditor. What they have to do is, they have to conduct an extraordinary general meeting. It is, who shall within 90 days at an extraordinary general meeting appoint such first auditor. And first auditor shall hold the office. He shall hold his office till the conclusion of first annual general meeting. That is, his duty is till the first annual general meeting. First auditor's duty continues till the first annual general meeting. Why? After first annual general meeting, the subsequent auditor will be appointed. Subsequent auditors are the permanent auditors. Their office tenure, the subsequent auditor's office tenure may be 5 years. Therefore, first auditor's tenure is small period only. He shall hold office till the conclusion of first annual general meeting. Fourth question is techniques of auditing. That is, what are all the techniques used by the auditor in the concern to obtain evidence in relation to auditing? Auditor use some techniques. What are all the techniques? They are vouching, observation, inquiry and confirmation, computation, analytical procedures. These are all the techniques used by the auditor to obtain evidence in relation to auditing. The first one is vouching. What is the meaning of vouching? For every transaction, a voucher is to be there in the concern. For every transaction, to record such transaction, a voucher must be there. This is the vouching. That is, vouching refers to the inspection. Voucher means that document. Vouching means the auditor vouchers. Auditor vouching the documents. That is, the auditor has to inspect the documentary evidences supporting their a transaction, whether that voucher is there or not. He has to check. That is the meaning of vouching. An auditor has to check the vouchers. That is vouching. It is a evidence for every transaction. Voucher is a evidence for every transaction. That is vouching. Then observation. What is the meaning of observation? Before that, under vouching, there are records and documents, and also physical verification is there. Already I said vouching is we have to verify that auditor has to verify the records and documents that are maintained by the company. He has to verify that records and documents. Then second is physical verification. Physical verification means the auditor himself physically verifies the quality and quantity of the various items that are shown in the records. That is, he has to check whether the items that are in the vouchers are correct. He has to check. Physically he has to verify. For this he have to frequently visit the organization. Then only it is possible for him to it's possible for him for the effective vouching. Then observation. We all know what does mean by observing. Observation. Observation means what? Auditor has to observe everything that are happening in the organization. Then only he will effectively do his auditing. By collecting data, evidences, he comes to know the functioning of the systems in the organization. A close observation enables the auditor to acquire a thorough knowledge of systems and procedures in force. Then inquiry and confirmation. Usually the police only inquires. That is inquire. He will inquire to get informations about a complaint or such things. Like that, auditor has to inquire many things about the organization. He has to seek information from the persons working in the organization or from the sources outside the organization. Then confirmation. Confirmation means what he has inquired is right or not, he has to confirm. Confirming the information available with the records of the organization. He has to confirm whether it is right or not. Confirmation may be either in oral form or in written form. Then computation. Computation means calculation. Auditor has to calculate during the course of audit the accounting records. He has to calculate and verify the accuracy of the accounting records. For example, what rate of interest and date of borrowing, depreciation to be charged for the year. He has to compute all these. Then analytical procedures. What are the analytical procedures he has to follow while auditing? To evaluate the efficiency of management by comparing the results of past years. For this, he has auditor follow some techniques and procedures. That is the ratio analysis, reconciliation ratios, variance analysis, like that. Analytical procedures also useful in managerial decision making. These are all the techniques of auditing. Fifth question is special audit. Special audit comes under the kinds of audit. When special audit is conducted in a concern, the central government may order a company to conduct a special audit. Central government has the power to order a company to conduct a special audit if the affairs of any company are not being managed in accordance with the sound business principles. If central government decides that the affairs are not likely to cope up with the business principles, if they come to the decision, they will conduct, they will approve for special audit. Then second thing, if a company is being managed in a manner prejudicial to the interest of the trade, industry or business, the company is being managed, that is in a manner against the trade, that is harmful. Prejudicial means harmful to the interest. When any industry or trade or business become harmful because of the transactions of the company, they can call for special audit. The central government can call for special audit. And on the third matter, when special audit or the central government can call for means the financial position of the company is such as to endanger its solvency. That is, financial position is not in a suitable manner. That is, the company is going to dissolve. If it decides that is, the central government may decide to order a company to special audit in these three cases. The government may appoint the company's auditor for this purpose. The auditor so appointed shall have the same powers and duties as an auditor of the company. The special auditor has the same duties. The auditor shall submit his report to the central government who has appointed them. On receipt of the report, the central government may initiate such action as it considers necessary under the law. If no action is taken, it shall send a copy of the report for placing the same at the next general meeting. The cost of audit that is the cost of special audit shall be borne by the company. The company has to bear the expense of this special audit. These are all the conditions for special audit.